Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, Red Eagle Politics did a video a couple hours ago, and I'm going to do a follow up because I think it was a very good video. I encourage you all to watch it. But there's a couple things that I do think that I kind of missed, and that will kind of benefit the a possible Vance Rubio ticket. And that happens to do more with the demographical vote. But the first thing I want to talk about is religion, because obviously, if Vance and Rubio were to run, religion is going to play a huge role in the election. And you'd be probably throwing your head in the air, probably like, well, what, wow, how and when people don't care about religion anymore? Well, I wouldn't say that. No, like people, no, I don't care what religion you are when I go to the poll and vote, but it's going to be somewhat historic, and it's going to result to some shifts. And I would say those shifts, when it comes to religion, is going to be mostly positive, because we're talking about the very first all-Catholic ticket, which can be consequential, because if a J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio were to run together, this would be the very first ticket in American history where the running mate and the candidate for president are Catholic. Both of them are Catholic. And history has told us every single candidate in the Electoral College is always been represented by a Protestant, or I wouldn't call Kamala Harris a Protestant. I would call her more like a irreligious, secular. So maybe you want to make an exception for Kamala Harris, but other than Joe Biden and Biden Harris, every single election, in Democrat, Republican, any of the third parties, were represented indefinitely by one Protestant or an all Protestant ticket. Trump-Pence was an all-Protestant ticket. And going forward, you have Romney. I can't say for sure. I can't go around declaring what religion's which. I would say Clinton Kane's an all-Protestant ticket. I'm not sure if Paul. I don't think Paul Ryan's Catholic. I think he might be Catholic. I don't know. But all I'm saying is you get the point here. But this time, if this were to happen, and a lot of people think, oh, this is a risk because this will hurt Vance when it comes to the evangelical voters, and that is true. We don't want our campaign to be too Catholic. As I speak as a Roman Catholic and a proud one myself, I know it's important to be representative to all people, right? All religions, all backgrounds. And when you run an all Catholic ticket, Vance and Rubio, both Catholics, by the way, Vance for president, Rubio for vice president, it could result to some evangelical voters going either third party. I'm not saying all the evangelicals are anti-Catholic, but there are some that don't like Catholics, and I respect that. I'm not going to cry bigotry over that. But I'm just saying, we got to expect this. So we're pushing a Vance Rubio ticket. We're saying it's the best ticket ever. Yes, I agree, but it's consequential. Now, what are the benefits of a Vance Rubio ticket when it comes to Catholicism? Well, we can take a look at the results in the 2024 election. Catholics overwhelmingly backed the Trump ticket by over 30 points, and actually a double 20 point by 20 points. Catholics overwhelmingly supported the Vance ticket. And it's true, a lot of Catholics also voted third party, 21%. Actually, no, never mind, this is swing. But you get what I'm saying. Kamala Harris only at 34%. And it's not good, honestly, because 39% of Catholics backed Kamala Harris. These are Catholics that are very, very confused, likely very confused with the late and dishonorable, I don't like him, I'm sorry, Pope Francis, because he was so destructive. So destructive. Because he went as far as countering the Trump ticket, even though ideally Trump was the only guy, only candidate that's going to stop Democrats from bringing back Roe v. Wade and killing another generation of babies. You try to stand against him because you don't like his immigration stance. And it's true, Catholic Church teaches nothing about being opposed to certain immigration. They don't. Immigration's not a teaching in the Catholic Church. So why we have popes, Pope Francis, and now Pope Leo is apparently in this hostile mode towards Trump and the immigration. I'm like, why? You need to work with him because you don't know the other side. I mean, I would expect Leo to know. He's a registered Republican, allegedly, and he's from this country. But honestly, being against Trump and basically enforcing the law doesn't go against the Catholic Church. It doesn't look good. And it's not going to, it results to infighting because we're supposed to work together in regards to containing the far left. Catholics overwhelmingly oppose Kamala Harris, not to mention Kamala Harris often attacked Catholic voters. She's called them a lot of derogatory language towards them for their support and opposition to abortion. But obviously, you're seeing when it comes to values, Catholics have always been conservative with social values. Catholics are the only ones, actually, you have some Protestant denominations that will be okay with same-sex marriage. Catholic Church still rails against same-sex marriage, and they'll do it publicly, and they're not afraid to be loud about it. Even imagine going up and saying that marriage is between a man and a woman. You will be cannibalized by the woke mob. But obviously, Catholics are that conservative that they're uncompromisable when it comes to same-sex marriage. I don't know about Pope Francis. Just because Pope Francis supports it, that doesn't mean the church supports it. Obviously, Pope Francis is of course a sinner, and obviously his salvation is very much in jeopardy as much as ours. But when it comes to the basic values of most Catholics, I'm saying Catholics are going to back the candidates that agree with them on the major issues. Now, there are some Catholics that support abortion, and then now when it comes to support abortion, they're against abortion personally, but they will back abortion for anyone else. Oh, I'm Catholic, but just like Tim Kaine's an example, Roman Catholic. Well, I want to believe, Tim Kaine's a Roman Catholic, so never mind. I should not say that the Clinton-Kaine ticket's an all-Protestant ticket. Mr. Kaine, he said, "Oh, I'm personally against abortion, but hey, he goes around and gives money to Planned Parenthood." No, that's not being pro-life. You know that's not being honestly, this is what they mean. Though just because I'm Catholic, so I can't really back abortion, but it's okay if you guys get an abortion. No, the Catholic Church just isn't necessary. They want everyone to be against abortion. When it comes to rallying the base against the whole church against abortion, and a lot of people say that's so bad. Well, I can't necessarily control what the Catholic Church teaches, so when it comes to the said values, Catholics are very aligned with Republicans when it comes to this. Why am I focusing on Catholics? Well, Catholics are the second biggest denomination in Christianity, and they are mainly populated in the Rust Belt. Now, obviously, the reason why New Jersey has gone very conservative. It has to do with the Catholics, okay? The Catholics, because New Jersey is a very Catholic state. And in fact, the religion in New Jersey is Catholicism, believe it or not. It's Catholicism. The majority of Christians identify as Catholic. That is very pivotal when it comes to winning the state of New Jersey. And the reason why we see Catholic voters in previous elections, 2016, let's see. Yeah, they backed Trump, and but not as much as what it used to be. I mean, 45% of Catholics backed Clinton, despite the pro-abortion beliefs. Now, Biden picked up Catholic voters, but not as much as, like, he was a favorite son or something. Like, the Mormons back in 2012 backed Romney very heavily because he was a fellow Mormon. Well, Catholics half of the church has disowned Biden because he is a Catholic in name only. He sells the church out on basic values, like the teachings of homosexuality and abortion and euthanasia and IVF and all that stuff. That's why you have 47% going for Trump, and obviously that's 25% of the vote. That is kind of the reason why Biden won Pennsylvania. He won the Catholic vote. That gave him Pennsylvania. Also Michigan and Wisconsin, as well as overperforming expanding into more redder counties in New Jersey. Morris County, for example. Gloucester County, right here. Okay, so obviously, if you were to have a Vance Rubio ticket, the likelihood is the Catholic vote's going to expand maybe into the 70s or the upper 60s. And by that account, you could see possibly Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and definitely going Republican. The Rust Belt, especially. And some say that they could even win New Jersey. It's possible. I mean, if the Vance Rubio ticket's going to win up 68% of Catholics, then that's a tipping point for New Jersey as well. Adding with the Italian vote and more of the suburban voters going back to the Republican Party, they could be walking away with the state of New Jersey. It would be a state considered a battleground state, and very could be if Republicans actually do pick up that governor's mansion this year, and Cory Booker underperforms his record next year in the Senate election. You could be seeing a battleground New Jersey. So obviously, this is what the map could look like in regards. So first off, let's start off with Maine. Maine, we're seeing the situation here with Maine. Maine does have a lot of Catholic voters, but then again, not all Catholic voters believe in the values of the church, and that's frustrating. But obviously, I do think that Maine overall, there's basically non-religious people have dominated the state of Maine also. People from Vermont, New Hampshire, these very irreligious people or atheists or agnostics are up. All plaguing Maine. They're gonna make it into a Vermont, and I don't want that to happen, but it very possibly could. Now, a Vance Rubio ticket could possibly put New Hampshire up to play. That's really going to depend. A lot of people, New Hampshire, they don't like Democrats, but they just don't like Trump. I've kind of noticed that. Trump has always struggled in the state of New Hampshire. Ideally, it's a battleground state, ideologically very similar to Pennsylvania and Michigan, Wisconsin, states Trump carried twice. But this state of New Hampshire really couldn't get behind Trump. I guess there's just a lot of skeptics there. You have also the atheist vote, which is what's advancing the New Hampshire Democratic Party. But if they really concentrate the Catholics, trying to get those Catholics into the GOP in New Hampshire, they could walk away with this state. I'm not sure. It's possible, but you could possibly have New Hampshire as a possible state there. Going to the state of Vermont, we can the others here. Rhode Island, Massachusetts are actually Catholic states, but they're just bought and sold, and not to mention those Catholics are also bought and sold, and I don't really consider them as Catholic. But Pennsylvania, then again the Catholic vote, and also Hispanic vote. Also, Hispanic vote would also be very beneficial to and that's part of what Red Eagle explained. He had mentioned the Hispanic vote. Rubio is Hispanic. He could make inroads there, especially with the Puerto Ricans in Lehigh County, which is somewhat winnable. Like, Lehigh is a county which Trump almost won in 2024. It doesn't vote Republican that often. It did vote Republican in a couple state elections last year for Pennsylvania, and we can actually take a look at those. So it can go Republican, and when you look at it, it's very similar to like Monroe County or Bucks County, something like that. It's where Allentown is, and it's really the Puerto Rican vote that it's just really, really making it hard for Republicans to pick that up. But you'll see, Dave Sunday, who was, I want to believe, was he predicted to lose? Oh yeah, he only won one poll, and he ended up winning the whole entire thing by like 4 points. And yes, he won Lehigh County. He actually did better than Donald Trump. He picked up one county extra. That was actually in Center County. What am I talking about? Center County also. But you have the treasurer election. Lehigh County also going. It's going for Stacey Garrity. So yes, obviously Lehigh can go red, and I think it will go red if a Vance Rubio ticket were to exist. I've already said that winning New Jersey is possible if this rightward shift continues. I'm serious. Democrats are not doing themselves a favor if they go with Ross Baraka for the Democratic nomination in 12 days. They are giving Republicans advantage in leverage that honestly they don't need to give them. If they just nominate Mikey Sherrill, there's a chance that they will, but Baraka is getting lots of momentum. Maryland and Delaware, same deal. West Virginia, Republican. Now, I do think probably Virginia will stay blue. It's kind of gone way off. It's becoming more like Colorado, I've noticed. And that's sad, but otherwise, I don't know. Republicans are gaining in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio. Well, yeah, obviously these are the red states now. We can obviously pick up the Wisconsin and Michigan. Illinois, got Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota is probably going to stay Democratic. You got Nebraska. So this is kind of what a good map scenario would look like. Even New Mexico could be up to grabs. You do have Marco Rubio relating more with the Hispanic population, and not to mention the state is shifting more rightward. Where's Jackson Jude? I think looking at that map that we looked at a couple days ago, where we saw the trends from 2020, 2016 to 2024, that obviously is going to do a lot, but looking at New Mexico, yeah, all of them pretty much Republican. You got the main blue areas, especially, are solid Republican. This is very good. It's mainly the Republican areas that are slowing down, mainly these blue areas, which are now going solid Republican. 2016, yeah, it's a little dimmer now. 2020 is better because Democrats gained the most out of New Mexico there, and it could be because of Biden's Catholicism. It could have benefited him there. But I do think New Mexico is definitely possible pickup. You have Arizona, Montana, Idaho. Colorado is gone. I don't think it's going to go for the Republicans there. And then that pretty much concludes our map. The rest going for Kamala Harris, whoever this may be. But this is your possible victory scenario map for the Republicans if you were to run a Vance Rubio ticket. And you'll see this is the biggest set of electoral votes this century, honestly, 335. And sure, we would like to see Democrats go down to the 190 or 160. But this is kind of pretty good at what we're looking at right now. But honestly, I do think it's very much well possible. I want to take a look at the demographic swing-o-meter if this is like Kamala Harris versus J.D. Vance scenario. What would it kind of look like? The white non-college graduate. You will see part of the surge for Republicans is coming from white college grads, and I think overall it's going to trounce. I mean, not to admit, maybe there's some people that will want change and they'll be dumb enough to actually say, oh, Kamala is that version for change. And even though she will never be that version for change, but let's just say it goes to 66%. That's because how bad Democrats are so unrelatable. But yeah, you'll see Republicans, they already win. Democrats are leading in the popular vote, but that will soon to change. College graduates, I would say more men. I would say maybe it dimmers down a little, maybe 51 to 48%, or 49, 48, yeah. You have African American vote. It was like in the lower 80s, mid 80s. Let's just say it's like 82%. 83%. Okay. Then you have the Hispanic vote. Republicans can actually walk away with this. I think an all-Catholic ticket will trounce this for the Hispanics, Hispanic voters. But let's just say it's 52-47. This would be huge benefits. New Mexico would go Republican by plus 3.8. You have Asian and other Pacific Islander, Indian. I would say maybe it goes 56%. But yeah, you're looking at a map looking relatively like this. I don't think Maine's going Republican. I disagree. Minnesota, 2.4%. I disagree with that also. This is kind of looking at a map all the way abroad. But you could expect to see a Vance plus 6-point victory if you were to run the disastrous and comical Kamala Harris again. And for redemption. And we saw this in 2022 when it came to Miss Stacey Abrams. She blew it. Part of the reason was Brian Kemp was very liked. But anyway, this is kind of what we're looking at. What do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.